Brad.
And that is Sean.
And it's the day
BS.
after. Yeah, BS. It's the day after the Super Bowl, and all you people that hadn't had any sleep yet.
Boring game for some. All the New England fans that are now Tampa Bay.
Here's your phone.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, all you New England fans, congratulations. I guess you get to count that as a championship, kind of like Alabama fans do championships. I was wrong. Brad was right. It wasn't that I was pulling for Kansas City. I didn't really have a dog in the hunt. I was more pulling against TB12 because he cheated to beat my team.
Most people were they were pulling for the Chiefs. Were necessarily more so pulling against Brady.
And I think you could make the argument that the Buccaneers' defensive line were the real MVPs of the game.
Yes, they had a heck of a game.
Heck of a game.
That was impressive.
I've not seen my homie shut down like that.
I don't know if he didn't score a touchdown. I don't know if that's happened since
it's his
all.
biggest loss of his career. No touchdown. The streaker did make it to the end zone.
He did. They tackled him pretty good though. That one guy.
Hey, the security guard should have got a 15-yard penalty for targeting. He should have had to sit out the rest of the game and the first half of the next Bucs home playoff game.
Right.
Our next home game. I mean, that was clearly head-to-head contact.
Right. They drilled him pretty hard.
Man. Have you heard the Kevin Harlan play-by-play of the streaker?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
It's fantastic.
Very good.
Oh, if you're watching, let us know you're there. Let us know what your thoughts on the Super Bowl were, what your thoughts on the commercials were, the halftime show. I read an article this morning about the halftime show that said if you're 35 or younger, the halftime show was great, and if you're over 35, you thought it was garbage.
Yeah. Let's just say I got up and cooked hamburgers during halftime.
Hey, speaking of hamburgers, I bought 3 pounds worth of Wagyu beef yesterday at Sam's for $15.
Wow.
You can't even barely buy like cheap Chuck steak or Chuck.
Yeah, no doubt.
Walmart for $5 a pound.
Sure, it's a good price.
Good price. So we had a discussion with a new realtor in our office this morning about when was the last good halftime show. And he brought up that little 5 or 6 year stretch where you had Paul McCartney, Prince, Tom Petty, The Who, Aerosmith, and The Boss, all back to back to back.
Yeah.
Is that the best run of Super Bowl shows? And is it just, hey, if you're a certain age, you're just not going to like the halftime show no matter who it is?
Right.
Or is it just, hey, if you're a performer, you're going to get ripped no matter what if you do the halftime show unless you're Prince. What's the use in even doing the halftime show?
Right. That's true. I mean, like I say, it's a global stage. So whoever does it's good for them.
And you can usually watch their iTunes numbers and all their numbers go up the next day.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
It's funny that I was watching Facebook and Twitter. I couldn't really hear the guys. It was like his mic was turned down. You couldn't really hear what he was singing or saying or anything. But I was watching YouTube or Twitter and Facebook, and everybody was going, "Who is this guy? We've never even heard of him." And so maybe they should have done a little bit better lead up about, hey, introduce here. This is The Weeknd. This is who he is.
For all of you who don't know.
Yeah, for all of you who don't know, this is who The Weeknd is.
Yeah.
And that's not Saturday or Sunday.
No, it was on a Sunday, but
yeah.
You think they'll ever switch it to a Saturday game?
No, I don't think so.
I'd like it if they would. It'd be a lot easier.
It's just Super Bowl Sunday. It doesn't sound right. Super Bowl Saturday. I don't know. All right, so commercial-wise.
Nothing really. The lemon one was cool, but nothing really, was, this was awesome,
So I had 3 on my list, and they can go in any particular order. So it's not like, hey, this one was definitely number 1, this one was definitely number 2, and this one was definitely number 3. So the 3D Dorito ones, and 3D Doritos were out in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
And now they're coming back, and Matthew McConaughey's in this commercial, and he's like this 2-dimensional character. I was trying to decide when he was going to get into his Lincoln, but he never got into a Lincoln. But he gets blown up into this Dorito machine. He takes a couple bites, these 3D Doritos, and he turns 3-dimensional. He busts his face on the side of the...
Yeah.
That was one of the 3.
Yeah.
The Bud Light lemonade with the lemons falling out of the sky.
Yeah.
That was way up there. And then the George Costanza one about his face, the face on the shirt. You know,
I may have missed that one.
so it's
missed
you
that
remember when he set his jingle up? Believe it or not, George isn't at home.
Okay.
It was the real song, not the Costanza thing.
Grace
but they're
American
wearing
Hero.
this shirt with Costanza on it, and at the end of the thing, it's "Give me my face back."
Yeah, I missed that one.
So that one,
so.
and then you mentioned one this morning that
Yeah.
I didn't see about Samuel Adams having Clydesdales that some kid just let off and let
Yeah.
run away.
Yeah, a big spoof on the Budweiser Clydesdales, which they didn't have a big commercial, did they?
Budweiser said they weren't doing a major commercial this year.
There you go.
So
But they don't need to. They're like Coca-Cola. They could probably do without advertising, but
speaking
Yeah.
of that, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Budweiser, none of them had a major spot. Doritos said they weren't going to, and then all of a sudden, here they are with a major spot.
there you go.
A lot of people were complaining about Paramount with the Paramount Plus thing, which
Yeah.
is taking the place of CBS All Access. Did they overdo their things? They had the really
They went
fun.
a little far. Yeah,
They had the
wasn't.
funny one with the little doll that lost its arm, and Jordan Spieth hit the arm way far away. And
Yeah,
the caddy came out. Well, you should have used a 5-iron.
yeah.
I thought it was funny. A lot of people said, "Hey, that was insensitive to people who who were amputees." I mean, what? Come on, people.
Surely not.
But overall, terrible halftime show, boring Super Bowl, and there were some highlights on the commercials. But overall, the commercials weren't even there this year.
Yeah, it wasn't really the big production it's made out to be. You know, I mean, I know the game was all right. I always pull for defenses, so watching the Tampa Bay defense was
Unreal.
was fun. Yeah, but I'll tell you, Mahomes, man, he made the best out of most of those situations. He just didn't have it downfield like he needed. That
I
could
tell
have
you
been
what,
a much closer game.
That one pass towards the end, he's going down, and he literally flicks his wrist, and you're going, where is he throwing the
Yeah.
ball to? And that receiver caught the ball outside of the end zone. I mean, he was out of bounds. But the athleticism to throw that ball and the athleticism to catch the ball where it was,
Yeah,
both outstanding.
yeah.
And you're thinking about, he put that ball on a dime
Oh yeah.
and put it exactly where only his guy could have caught it if anybody was going to catch it. I mean, spectacular.
Yeah, it was impressive. A few of them, right?
Yeah.
Only they didn't catch them, which that one didn't count, but the other ones they didn't catch. It was pretty much Kelsey.
Yeah,
You
they
know, that
they
was
shut
about the only one catching
they
anything.
shut Tyreek Hill down. I
Yeah.
mean, he wasn't doing anything. And then on the flip side, you got Gronk with 2 touchdowns. You got AB with a touchdown. You got Tom Brady looking like he's 31 years old. I mean, Tom Brady with a defense like that could play 3, 4, 5 more years.
Yeah. He got what? I know 1 sack early on, but that's about it. I don't even know if he got pressured real good.
I'll tell you what, I thought the Honey Badger was going to light him up there for a second. The Honey Badger don't care.
You're right. That's right. That's what I was thinking.
And Honey Badger caught the interception. And hey, let's be honest. The calls in the first half were very much pro Tampa Bay. I mean, they were calling everything on Kansas City and nothing on Tampa Bay. But you kind of saw when that interception happened, when Honey Badger caught that pick
Yeah.
and they reversed the pick, you're going, okay, this game's over.
Yeah.
They're not going to let Kansas City
Well,
win.
and I will say that too. Like, in the call, wasn't it defensive holding across the field? Had nothing to do with this play.
Nothing to do with that
That's
play.
something that I wish they would take into consideration. When they call an offensive lineman for holding on a run, and it was opposite side of the field, and that defender had no chance, they shouldn't be making those calls. I'm sorry.
You had 3 calls back to back. So you had the interception flipped. You had the fly route where the ball was uncatchable. The DB fell down and took the receiver down with him, but the ball was uncatchable. So that should have been called. And then the play right before the touchdown where it was Brady was throwing the ball out the back of the end zone. It wasn't even meant to be a pass. He was throwing the ball away. And they called defensive holding again, or defensive pass interference. Gave Tampa Bay the ball on the 1 yard line. Gronk scores the next play. I mean, think about everybody calls it the middle 8 or whatever, the 4 minutes before halftime or the 4 minutes after halftime. Tampa Bay won the middle 8 just because of the penalties.
Yeah.
And you take that middle 8 out of the game, I'm not saying the game ends differently, but the game was out of hand because of the referees early on.
Yeah.
who knows? As a Falcons fan and Brady cheating to beat us, he doesn't have one Super Bowl that's not tainted. Think about that.
The refs had nothing to do with him putting in Gronk's hands a couple times.
No, but as a Raiders fan, he's got that one that's tainted.
Yeah, right. You had to bring that up, man. I was in a good mood.
He got Spygate, so that's the second one. You got Deflategate, that's the third one. You got the 28-3. Just all of a sudden, the Patriots just wake up and everything goes the other way. That's the fourth one. You got last night's the fifth one. I mean, the guys literally every one of them's tainted. Look,
you mean all seven?
Yeah, all seven. There's a tainting of every one of them.
So, what about the three he lost?
They were Eli Manning were two of them.
That were they?
Who was the other? Who was the other one?
Did the Eagles beat him?
No, the Eagles lost. Who else beat him?
Who the Eagles beat? The Eagles beat somebody.
Did the Eagles win the newest one again? Was that against him?
The last 5 years or so, or the last one the Eagles won.
I don't know who. Maybe that's the
Might
third
have
one.
been. I can't remember. They all ran together.
No, I don't know. I forgot. But I'll say this: as many people who are still saying that Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback ever, I'm still going to say Joe Montana. And somebody actually this morning said Johnny Unitas. Joe Montana would get literally abused in the pocket.
Yeah.
And still lead drives, never lost a Super Bowl. Really should have taken Kansas City to the Super Bowl the next year and didn't. But Joe Montana was still the GOAT, in my opinion.
Well, and you're talking about three eras, too.
And none of his are tainted with Deflategate or anything else like that.
They just didn't get caught.
Yeah, stick them.
They didn't have mass media 24/7. But in Unitas, I mean, that's all. It's always arguable, but
yeah, it is. I mean,
it's a different era.
And then you look at who was the Otto Graham, the Cleveland Browns quarterback from the 40s.
Yeah,
he won 10 championships.
Yeah, but
10 championships.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah.
You can't ever compare era to era. That's why Jordan's better than LeBron.
Yeah. Except for basketball.
Yeah, except for basketball.
You heard he was asked actually recently, look, level with us. If the 90s Bulls in their prime played against any LeBron's teams in their prime, who would win? He says, I think the Bulls would win by maybe 3 or 5. They said, what? Why do you think it'd be so close? He said, well, we're all in our 60s now. So.
Yeah, but he didn't say in their prime. He said if your Bulls faced LeBron's Lakers, who would win? And he goes, well, we'd win by 2 or 3 points.
Yeah.
And what? Yeah, we're all in our 60s. Dude, even Jordan today, they show him playing with like his basketball camps and stuff.
Yeah.
He's even played his current NBA roster one-on-one. And they said even now at 60 years old, his current NBA roster can't even play with him.
Wow.
So think about it. You put Pippen and him, and I bet they would give the Lakers a run for their money. I'm not saying they'd win.
Yeah.
But in the 90s, there's no way
couldn't be not a full game, I bet.
Right.
You play a quarter or a half, maybe.
I'll say this. Playing 90s rules basketball, there's no way the Lakers beat the Bulls playing 90s rules basketball.
Yeah. They played defense back in those days.
Played defense, and they'd throw elbows and hand check and all that other stuff. LeBron would be. I've seen LeBron literally like somebody whiff the ball in front of his face and he'd fall on the ground crying.
Yeah.
Baby.
You can't respect that.
Yeah, I can't respect that.
Anyway.
All right, real estate wise, I heard you had a listing and then it was gone.
Yeah. Well, we got one coming in Buchanan Estates in Christiana. 3-bed, 2-bath house at 2926 Ridgewood Drive. If you want any information, just call or text me at 615-519-3339. How about you?
Well, I got a big house in Puckett Station, 4,261 square foot. I don't want to bore you for the next 5 minutes, but
it's a lot of house.
It's a lot of house.
A lot of land.
A lot of land.
In a neighborhood.
A subdivision in Murfreesboro with 1.44 acres on a creek lot.
Creek.
Got an in-ground swimming pool that's heated and salted. Let's see, it's got a 3-car garage that's big enough to put a Suburban in and walk around.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a bonus room. It's got a loft area or den. 4 beds, 3.5 baths, formal dining room. I mean, this thing just goes on and on and on and on and on. It's got 10-foot ceilings down, 9-foot ceilings up. It's got 8-foot tall doors in the downstairs. Did you catch that?
Oh,
they're huge.
Yeah.
So, 48-inch wide stairs.
Okay.
all the doors are 3/6 doors big enough for a handicapped person. So this house has got it all. Walk-in shower. It's kind of handicap ready. Big closets everywhere. These rooms, I mean, every room in the house is huge.
Yeah.
So if you're in the need for a house like that in Murfreesboro, we got the one for you. So just give us a call, 615-838-0653. And Brad, I think that's it for the BS show today.
That's about it.
Super
I'm out of
Bowl
words.
wrap up.
Yeah.
Out of words. So should we just put Prince on repeat from now on for every Super Bowl halftime show?
You could just replay that one.
Just that
halftime
one
show.
and be done with it. Have the Purple Rain.
Yeah.
He was actually interviewed before that. And he goes, Mr. Prince, or Symbol, formerly known as Prince, whatever. What happens if it rains? He goes, I hope it does rain. And then you think back now, and the rain coming down and the purple lights making the rain purple. Come on. I didn't realize until somebody showed it on Facebook last night. They released doves when they said when he sang When Doves Fly. He released white doves into the stadium, and during Purple Rain, they're still flying around the stage.
Oh, they really? That's cool. I would check that out.
Never caught it before.
Yeah.
All right, Brad Feller.
Sean Wright.
Sean Wright. BS Show, sponsored by Century 21.